Lost to Ohio State, so trying to get back in the win column. Got DeBerry and Betts at the center circle. First possession goes to the home team. Maryland understands that it's down about 50 minutes per game, about 20 points per game without Bree McDaniel and Cheyenne Sellers. Looking for everybody else to step up, looking for good shots too. Tibiasu, double dribble, so a turnover on the first possession for the Terrapins. Last time these two teams met was right here on this court in the NCAA tournament in 2019. Of course, UCLA undefeated on the season. So many threats on the floor. We talk so much about Lauren Betts, but they've got shooters all over the place.
And as you mentioned, a change to the starting lineup. 6'6" DeBerry inside to guard Lauren Betts didn't matter. She buries her, gets 2 feet deep in the paint. That is hard to stop.
Well, and the patience, too, from UCLA, making sure they get Betts the ball where she wants it. Right back at you, Sayla Poffenbarger.
And that's a really important shot for Maryland. Poffenbarger is going to have to look to do more scoring. We talked about what they're missing. 2 of their top 3 scorers. Everyone's going to have to do more.
Boxing out and getting the rebound, imperative as well. Dalsey, met by multiple bodies, takes it up anyway.
It is going to be tough to come by shots in the paint with 6'7" Lauren Betts. Whatever she doesn't block, she intimidates. And here comes Kiki Rice really quickly in transition the other way.
Long strides from the hometown hero, Kiki Rice from Bethesda, Maryland. Homecoming game for her. Michael, leading scorer for the Terrapins. Averages 17 points per game, off on her first attempt.
UCLA starting off in a man-to-man defense. Maryland will switch up their defenses. They'll play some zone. Obviously, they would love to play Lauren Betts straight up, but we'll probably see some doubles and maybe even triple team if Lauren Betts gets it going on the interior.
Well, and the defense for Maryland all depends, too, on personnel. People get in foul trouble and things like that. Brenda Free's really having to adjust her strategy because of some of the injuries.
Yeah, look at how hard Lauren Betts is asking for the ball. She's posting, she uses her body, and that's every possession. One thing sometimes you find with post players, they take breaks. She doesn't take breaks. She posts, she reposts, constantly making herself an option.
Well, the deflection there by DeBerry. London Jones tries to get it right back. Basketball will remain with Maryland. And there was a difference there with DeBerry and her activity against Betts.
Yeah, I mean, she's probably going to try to 3/4 side, get that hand in there, try to make some deflections when she can. And again, she's got the size at 6'6" that she can actually give her a little bit of trouble.
That's exactly why she's in the basketball game right now. We mentioned DeBerry getting her first career start this afternoon.
And wearing 42 in honor of who else? Brittany Griner. So you better have some fight in you on the interior with that number.
You talk about great posts, of course, BG, one of them. DeBerry, confident right there from the elbow.
That's a big shot. DeBerry has not started a game. This is her first career start, and it's a big one.
Jaquez open but patient. UCLA getting into its offense.
Everything UCLA does is very patient with their passing. They want to get the ball inside, and they share it well. Then they've got to make a decision. That can open up the lane for more driving for Maryland.
All tied at 4. A couple minutes have gone by here to start. Maryland, number 8. UCLA holding on to number 1. Always pressure when you're undefeated. Every team is going to give you their best shot. This is Dalsey. Little spin move, success.
Beautiful fake. She had me running out of bounds on that one, Zora.
Dalsey, the transfer from Villanova, Lauren Betts, that's what she does.
It's too deep. I mean, how often do you see a center get that deep? I mean, her head is under the rim on the post-up.
Extra steps by DeBerry. We've had a couple pin downs already from Lauren Betts.
Well, first Betts sprints the floor, so she gets early position, and then she gets the defender on her back, keeps the ball high. You have to do your work and either use your body to try to keep her up in that free throw line area. Don't let her get prime real estate down low. Or when the ball starts to come in, you got to release and try to get around her and knock it down.
One of the major upsides for UCLA is its depth. Already some subs in the basketball game. Tamia Gardner, Janiah Barker, and they're going back to Betts. It's working so far.
They brought a little bit of a distraction, a soft double team there that time from Maryland.
Rice, her efficiency this season off the charts, 56% from the field.
It's rare that you see a guard and a player's percentage go up 10+ percentage points from year to year. That's
just one season.
A lot of hard work went into that.
Tibiasu navigating here. Talked about Smeichel and her ability to score. She shows it right there.
She has to do it. Smeichel has not shot particularly well against ranked opponents, and obviously having to do more work. Speaking of work, Lauren Betts again, but in the absence of McDaniel and Sellers in the backcourt, but they need Smeichel to be a scorer.
That last bucket by Lauren Betts gives her 6 already. Here in the first quarter, I mean, UCLA has 10 points. Lauren Betts has more than half of them.
So as we see DeBerry go out, look for a possible defensive change by Maryland. They don't have the size necessarily to contend with her one-on-one, but Kubek has a little more girth, and they may bring more defensive attention.
Let's see how they attack this possession defensively. Arnesalo. Couple travel calls to start. It's a point of emphasis for the referees this season.
High field goal percentage defense, excuse me, low. That's 33% is what they're holding opponents to. I mean, you can check the box. Every statistical category, they're pretty much somewhere near the top. I mean, this is a team that's deep, talented, and Corey Close said they work harder than any team she has coached in 30 years.
Yeah, the rebounding is off the charts, yet she's not pleased with the rebounding effort all the time. Allie Kubek with the putback.
Well, UCLA is first in the nation in rebound margin. Maryland is fourth, so they're not too far behind.
In for a battle, Barker taking it to the rim. So at the free throw line, Janiah Barker is a transfer from Texas A&M. I believe we saw her trying to dunk it in practice yesterday a few times.
And Barker comes off of the bench, really athletic, can go get her own shot. Has a beautiful mid-range game. Has added another layer for Corey Close.
Poffenbarger left all alone, called down by Barker. We remain tied. 10-all. Bobble of the basketball, back to Maryland it goes. And you gotta think this is exactly where Maryland wants to be.
They have been aggressive. They have not given UCLA too many second chance opportunities early, so they've done a nice job so far on the glass. And everyone's looked to be a scorer, and that's what has to happen. They're still trying to figure things out after missing 2 key pieces, and not a lot of practice time to do that.
Tibiasu with the step back. Dowsey gets the rebound against 3 UCLA Bruins.
I'm surprised there wasn't a foul call there. Oh, they're saying that the travel happened before the foul.
Sarah Tibiasu is the point guard right now for Maryland. Played all 40 minutes on Thursday against Ohio State. That's the personnel changes that Maryland has to adjust to without its second and third leading scorers. Betts just too deep.
It's getting tough. And the other thing that has to happen there, Zora, is there's got to be more ball pressure on the pass. I mean, the guards can do their part. It's not just about what the post or what the inside defenders are doing on Lauren Betts. To me, post defense starts with the post entry pass.
That's a great observation. Somebody's got to get her the basketball, and if you prevent that, it'd be a big help. Dowsey trying to take it to Betts.
Get caught on low side and force her to shoot over you.
Smeichel puts it up quickly. And UCLA so good in transition, they convert.
How do you let 6'7" beat you down the floor? I mean, you just don't see players often with that kind of size and speed.
Timely shot by Tibiasu, much needed.
And she has that ability. Was the A10 Player of the Year. Came in as a very highly respected scorer. And you see what she can do knocking down that shot.
Kiki Rice blocked at the rim by DeBerry, but who's there to clean up the mess?
You cannot afford to have dribble penetration. And Kiki Rice is one of the best in the country at getting a piece of the paint, because the minute you have to move over and help, you're out of position to rebound.
Taken away by Dugalich. Kiki Rice poised at the rim from the area. We were asking her, how many people you think are in the stand? She said 75 that I know of, probably closer to 200 that just want to come and support.
I mean, you're talking about a superstar from the DMV.
You got to break down what the DMV is to people, China.
Okay, DC, Maryland, and Virginia. Zora and I are part of the V, a part of that DMV equation.
Yes, proudly.
Virginia natives.
And even with the little run by UCLA, you felt like they were getting momentum. Maryland has responded at every point so far in this game.
They have. I mean, they are very locked in, very focused, looking to attack.
So hard to guard. And it's the same similar action we've seen over and over again to start this game.
It's the same play call, and it's so deep that it's hard to double. How do you send another defender when she's so good at passing? And this team can knock down threes.
DeBerry decides to put it up from deep. But you want to give her credit, too, for the way she positions her body, the way she finishes at the rim.
All of it.
Barker looked like she was going to work. And this is just the veteran leadership from Kiki Rice, recognizing how much is left on the shot clock. Let's get into a set and get a good look. Rice in the toolkit. Oh, nice find to Hawkes. Doesn't finish the play. 12.2 left here in this first quarter. It's been an entertaining one. Maryland wants to get the last shot. It's in the hands of Tibiasu. The kick out to Mir McLean.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
Tibiasu looked at the rim there. So McLean had that nice step through. Brenda Free, so complimentary of her work ethic.
And that would be great if Maryland could get some points off of the bench.
Tibiasu, step back. She's confident.
Little dance there first, Zora.
Well, that's all part of the game plan, right? You lull them to sleep a little bit.
Tibiasu's got some bounce when she gets going.
Lauren Betts already has 20 points, make it 22. Maryland has knocked down its last 4 field goals, has seen the ball go through the hoop. Poffenbarger will try it from the outside. Count it! So there's a whistle at the same time as the shot. The referees will review it, but score as stands. We'll see a confirmation of it in just a few seconds. But that's the rule. There's a defensive foul that happens after the shot, and Maryland will get the basketball.
Well, that's huge. You mentioned it. This could be good momentum for Maryland, and that was a rhythm shot by Poffenbarger.
Maryland down by double digits, now down by just 6. Schmeichel sees a little ounce of daylight and takes it. Schmeichel leads Maryland in scoring on the season, a transfer from Rutgers. That was Rutgers' all-time leading scorer as a freshman in program history. She ended her freshman year with over 500 points, gets both the free throws.
Some selective pressure here by Maryland, just to change things up, give UCLA another look, and it keeps Betts from running right to the rim, kind of slows their offense a little bit. And they're getting back into a zone defense.
Well, it takes a lot of time off the shot clock. UCLA getting into its offense, just about 15 seconds left in the shot clock. Arnsalo, the freshman, does not get the three to go. And Dowsey just hauls it down. I mean, number 15 is a player that had 18 rebounds in the Terps last game. McLean on a mission. Talk about momentum, LaChina.
And they're gonna pick up again in pressure. We asked Brenda Fries today if McLean could help this team, and she said yes.
Dugalich had a lot of time. And Maryland can tie or take the lead on this possession.
So Maryland's now forcing the pass out, and UCLA hasn't been able to capitalize when they turn it over. This has been the Achilles heel for Maryland in this first half.
Yeah, double-digit turnovers for Maryland. We'll just keep counting them. 24 points for Lauren Betts. You keeping up?
Man, I mean, I've already made some suggestions. Can't wait to see what our halftime crew has. You got to throw it all out there when it comes to Lauren Betts and her effectiveness and efficiency in the paint. It's just insane.
Michael had Rice on her. They switch off. Tibiasu looked at the rim, recognized the shot clock too. A couple hesitations. They got to get it off. Dowsey over Betts. Maryland will now be at the free throw line the rest of the way. Ten newcomers, 7 of them from other universities.
Even before the injuries, I was impressed with the job that Brenda Fries has done with this group of so many new pieces. And look where they are right now, missing 2 of their top 3 scorers. Only down 3 to the #1 team in the country.
Dudley gets in the lane. Dugalich drives baseline. When it puts her team in a position to once again tie the basketball game or take the lead. Under a minute to go here in this half. Tibiasu met with a double team, has to get out of it. Poffenbarger has hit some tough shots.
Poffenbarger not so comfortable in that position, having to just create. She has the ability, but that's where their offense has changed. They don't have as many players that can just go one-on-one.
Rice put on the Jets. Rice's 3rd trip to the free throw line so far this afternoon. She's debuting her 2nd pair.
Well, it's a special day coming back to the DMV, but I heard she's got some little sand sprinkled in on this design that go back to the West Coast, to UCLA. So bringing both of her worlds together here. Good looking tennis shoe right there. Do they say tennis shoes anymore, or is it just sneakers? I don't know, you know.
We'll allow you to say
Okay,
it.
thank you.
Okay, shot clock is off. 39-34, 5-point game. Tibiasu wants to make sure Maryland gets a quality shot to end the half. Poffenbarger contested. And the rebound attempt by Maryland. Possession arrow has it staying on this end. Tibiasu taking it out.
Plenty of time for a catch and shoot here.
Poffenbarger tried to haul it down. No one will get a shot off in time.
Really be intentional. You mentioned that word earlier about her development.
Well, and this is a Maryland team that has had to fight. It's only a 5-point basketball game without 2 of their big-time scorers, and they go right back to Betts. Caroline, what's the focus for Maryland as they try to overcome this deficit?
Well, I talked to head coach Brenda Fries about her team's 2nd quarter run. She said, we definitely settled in a bit more, and changing the defense certainly helped. When I asked about her plan defensively in the 2nd half, she said it'll be more of the same. Man, zone, press, all of that, but reminded me, of course, with their lack of depth today, they will have to be careful about not getting into foul trouble, Zora.
See if they can start to make those shots, and then you adjust, but they're not shooting that well from the outside right now.
Well, in terms of foul trouble, Maryland's doing pretty good right now. Only 1 player with 2 fouls. That's 42, Amari DeBerry. No surprise there, she's had the matchup against Betts for most of this game. Michael trying to find some space, gets it down to DeBerry, just rejected by Lauren Betts.
Yeah, you got to get creative down there. You won't be able to just turn and shoot over Betts. And what a pass in transition. Depth in the Big Ten. Once again, the best in the country right now when you look all the metrics, the net, their schedule, just the competition in this league. I mean, it has been really tough. We're not even in February yet, Zora. This is going to get good.
A lot of spiciness to go. Talk about spiciness. Nice roll there for Poffenbarger. It's a chance for Maryland to respond. Remember, it was a 5-point game at halftime. Then UCLA came out quickly to start the third.
Brenda Freeze called a timeout, got her team settled in, and that's a good sign when you can come out of the timeout and get a score.
Jaquez, attack mode baseline, kicks it out to Dugalich, converts.
This is an excellent passing team. I mentioned at the top of the show the assists. That is now 15 assists for UCLA. They share the basketball very well and make the right reads.
We got 15 assists on 19 field goals. It's only a couple of their shots have been unassisted. Just denied by Lauren Betts, her third block of the game, right at her average. So remains a 10-point game after Dowsey can't get either of those.
Dowsey's got 8 rebounds. She's a big reason why Maryland's been able to keep pace with the rebounds. And the Terps are in the zone right now, changing things up defensively once again.
Just giving UCLA different looks. We talked about Betts' ability to pass out of the double team.
And they were showing, and it looks like they went to a man.
Offensive rebound by Rice, missed the chippy. Poffenbarger, met by a lot of Bruins, slows it up. Just the miscue on the pass. And Shani, you talked about the ball movement. UCLA, #1 in the conference in assists. We've seen more of that passing here to start the third.
Maryland really sending heavy help on the backside of Betts, covering up that pass. Good box out by Kubek.
Instead, Lauren Betts will get 2 free throws. 56% free throw shooter. Goes 1 for 2. Dugalich gets the rebound off the free throw. Not what you want to see if you're Maryland. And Jones, nothing there on the 3 ball.
Maryland can try to push. See how quickly Betts gets back. I mean, she takes away any opportunity for a transition bucket because of the way she runs the floor. It's not just her running on offense, it's defense as well.
Talk about defense. London Jones just tenacious there. Sets up Kiki Rice.
London Jones works tirelessly on the defensive end, fighting through screen.
She's the second Bruin in double figures. I know we've talked so much about Lauren Betts, rightfully so. Count it.
And I love the point that our studio crew was making about Betts being the focal point of the defense, and that's why everyone else gets better looks, other opportunities. When they're collapsed, it opens up the driving lanes for other players like Kiki Rice.
Michael going up against Rice. Gets it to McLean. Everybody getting a touch. That's a hard make by Poffenbarger.
I mean, Brenda Freeze could not ask for more for Poffenbarger in terms of looking for her offense. What a game.
And then a foul down low. It looks like it was probably Kubek as she's battling Betts. Can we get another look at this one-legged shot by Poffenbarger?
Yeah, it was really smooth. I mean, coming off of, it looked like Tibiasu was going to size up the defense, but just a turnaround fadeaway at the free throw line looks so easy. And then a foul with Lauren Betts on the other end looking to get position.
Betts continuing to battle with Kubek. Kubek not backing down, falls. Bucket goes anyway.
The officials are really letting them play right now.
And Lauren Betts with that bucket now has 1,000 points. Meantime, Kayleen Schmeichel trying to keep Maryland in it. Just keep going at it.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that is exactly the message that Corey Close had for Caroline at the halftime. Keep going inside.
When at 31 points, Lauren Betts has tied her career high. I mean, what a day for her so far.
UCLA switching in their man-to-man, and McLean looking to get the ball in the post. The ingredients for a championship contender at the top of the show, Zora, and they've got great versatility at the forward position with size. They can shoot it. I know they're not shooting the three well right now, but their rebounding ability being elite. They've got variation at the point guard spot, and you see how hard it is to stop Lauren Betts, but Maryland doesn't care about that. Poffenbarger has got her confidence back.
Well, she has come to play. 16 points after that triple, and just keeping Maryland within striking distance.
And behind a little bit of a screen from Kubek. A dribble just to get your rhythm on the shot, and Poffenbarger knocks that one down clean.
When we talked about the homecoming for Kiki Rice, I mean, coming to Maryland was a homecoming for Poffenbarger. Grew up in the area, started her career at UConn, then Arkansas, and Brenda Fries had been recruiting her since she was in middle school.
This crowd is clapping for what they feel like is finally a 3-second call against Lauren Betts. Feeling like she had been hanging out in the lane a little bit all game, and so they are applauding. Brenda Fries, I thought she was gonna do a cartwheel.
Well, sometimes you're at home, right? You're going up against the #1 team in the country. It's plays like that that you need.
McLean was feeling it, sized it up. That would have been huge if she could have hit that shot, but just off.
The deflection there by Smeichel. Still plenty of time to work for UCLA, and you just, you know, as these offensive possessions are developing, I'm just looking at the movement from Lauren Betts, right? Constantly moving. What an assignment Maryland has this afternoon.
Well, and she's come out to the perimeter and done some dribble handoff action. Right now, she's coming to relieve the inbound pass, and Gardner can do that.
Well, yeah, and it's been a couple games since she knocked down a three-pointer. 0 for 9 in the last 2. Always nice to see it go in. Poffenbarger, unstoppable right now.
Just coming off of screens, stepping behind screens, looking good from everywhere on the floor.
18 points for Poffenbarger. Smeichel almost got the steal there. Betts met by a couple. Kick out to Arnasalo.
And UCLA starting to heat up from the outside. I mentioned 1 for 8 in the first half, but this is where their balance comes from, is their ability to kick it from the paint to the perimeter and hit shots.
Caroline, you've been listening to the Maryland huddle these past few timeouts.
Well, Zora, you saw head coach Brenda Fries firing up the crowd. She's also been firing up her team in these huddles. When she called timeout earlier in the quarter, she said UCLA got the first punch, but now it's our turn. This time she was saying, do your job, lock in, and set the tone, Zora.
And with 2:53 to go here in the third quarter, Brenda Fries and her team have a little bit of a mountain to climb. 13-point basketball game, which with the pace that these teams play at is still reasonable. Still very much a basketball game. You've seen how the momentum can shift so quickly. Now Barker with the mismatch has Tibiasu on her. Hard matchup. Remember, Gardner just hit 1, make it 2.
Well, Zora, I told you yesterday at shoot-around that Gardner was 0 for 9 from 3 in her last 2, and I feel like she was due as a shooter.
And this is an opportunity for Maryland just to slow UCLA's run down. DeBerry dumped down to Smeichel. Tough angle, makes it anyway.
Good movement without the ball for Smeichel. Sometimes you can see a pass go in and then just stand there and watch, but she was active and was a recipient of a good pass.
Well, we've seen Smeichel, he's so active defensively. She's been so close to a couple of steals, gets the turnover on that one.
Well, Maryland knows they have to respond right here. A few threes by UCLA has brought some distance in this game, but Smikle bringing the pressure as much as she can. Again, shorthanded, they cannot afford to get in foul trouble, but that's a great force of a turnover.
Talked about Poffenbarger, how lethal she's been all afternoon.
UCLA is now in a zone defense. They're changing it up a little bit.
Kubek deep under the basket. And just the pitch out pass from Lauren Betts to Kiki Rice. The 1-2 punch keeps coming from UCLA.
And Maryland just cannot seem to get back in transition. And even if so, you would normally want to foul in that situation, and they really can't foul. They can't afford it.
Smikle clapping for the basketball. Tibiasu will keep it. About a minute to go here in this third quarter.
Smikle got behind the zone, but the passers just did not see her back there.
And Kubek relentless on the board. I mean, we've seen her fighting all afternoon.
She's working incredibly hard.
Another chance here for Maryland. You want to capitalize on the opportunities you get. Blocked by Barker, recovered by the Terps. Shot clock winding down again. Smikle holds the follow through.
And a lot of that has to do with the length of UCLA and how they can get out and contest. And Kubek, maybe a little frustration there with the foul.
You got a couple Terps now with 2 fouls, so not necessarily in foul trouble. I know is a point of emphasis for Brenda Fries.
Yeah, Smikle gets it up, Betts gets it out, and Kiki Rice right to the rim.
And that foul will be on Kubek, her third. And we talked about Maryland's transfers. UCLA has had a couple key ones as well. Janiyah Barker from Texas A&M and Gardner at the free throw line now. Played at Oregon State last season.
And Corey Close said we went after Gardner because we wanted a decision maker at that power forward position, also stretch the floor. And then Barker just gives them another dimension as an athlete.
Shot clock is off here in this third. If you're Maryland, just an opportunity for a positive play heading into the fourth. Double screens for Tibiasu. Poffenbarger has had the hot hand for the Terps.
And UCLA knew it.
Lauren Betts or Juju Watkins are the top 2 scorers in the league right now.
Yeah, I think it'll be decided as the conference season ends. It's going to take us through February, I'm convinced.
Yeah, no take from you right now on that, huh?
I mean, it's tough.
It is.
But Lauren Betts is impressing me with how she changes the game on both ends of the floor so dramatically. You have to game plan for her, not just on her offense, but her defense. Look at her fly out for the block there. She came out to the perimeter to contest with size.
I love the point you made that she changes strategies on both ends of the floor. There's not many players that can do that. And we got in a conversation yesterday. I mean, we were just talking about dominant post players. Kiki Rice here getting the steal. And it's hard to compare the skill set of Lauren Betts as she jumps up and down, wide open in the lane.
Yeah, I don't know if that was actually a 3-second call on Lauren Betts earlier or a foul call, but either way, the crowd was happy because she has impacted every possession and been open a lot down low.
Great anticipation there by Poffenbarger. Smikle looked at the rim, but then saw Betts guarding her.
Yeah, Betts had, I mean, she was able to come out there. She can switch out on the perimeter.
Just makes you do a double take. Way to squeeze your way through from Dalsey.
Yeah, we were talking about some of the players in women's basketball, 6'7" and taller. You know, just in recent years that we were making note of, whether WNBA or college basketball, that we thought about really quickly. Wanted to say that is Cheyenne Sellers there on the bench. along with Bree McDaniel. How many points is that Maryland's missing, Zora? 32 points per game between the two of them.
Well, in over 50 minutes, too. Brenda Freese just talking about personnel, but yeah, go back to the post and Lauren Betts.
Yeah, but going back, you know, Lauren Betts is 6'7", Brittany Griner 6'8". She's now 6'9", but 6'8" when she was at Baylor. You think about Camila Cardoso, Kalani Brown, Tierra McCowan, all in that 6'7" height. And Lauren is different from all of them. I mean, they're all different from each other. But to me, I think it's the pace of game that she plays with that I really enjoy. And it's also, she can go left, she can go right. Like, the skill set is really complete, but she just moves very swiftly. And as you know, in the pro game in particular, you have to be able to come out to the perimeter as a big and, you know, either get in handoff action or you got to be able to switch. They call the travel there on Betts. But she just makes really good decisions with the basketball in her hand, in traffic, no matter the circumstance. They said she shuffled her feet there.
15-point basketball game. It's number 8 Maryland trying to make one more run. Nice move by Dowsey using the pivot foot. And just the bump from behind by Smeichel as she was defending Kiki Rice.
And still plenty of time in this game right now, Zora.
Oh, completely. 7:42 to go. Well, and Brenda Freese says, you know, we talked about the injuries, right? Your second and third leading scorer, Cheyenne Sellers and Bree McDaniel, said, we are going to learn something about ourselves during this stretch as we have to play without them.
And one thing I'll say about Brenda Freese is that she is an incredible motivator. She can make her teams believe. I mean, she loves embracing the underdog mentality, whether it's we don't have as much experience on paper or in this case, we're obviously injured. She can have her team really believing that they can beat anyone. She is a master at that.
Kiki Rice getting downhill with authority. We've seen that multiple times this afternoon. Rice will have 2 at the free throw line. On the rise, Juju Watkins streaming now on Peacock. We talked about the potential Player of the Year candidates in the Big Ten between Juju Watkins and Lauren Betts. And lucky for us, we get to see them go at it twice this season. One of the rare occasions in the Big Ten where teams are going to play each other more than once.
Yeah, the one occasion, right? Based on geography, some rivalry, that other team that you play twice is a big deal. And for UCLA and USC, that makes us happy, right? Probably not the coaches as much.
Right inside the three-point line there for Tibiasu. And this crowd of more than 13,000 inside the Xfinity Center still staying in it.
Maryland's got to get this crowd back into it. Again, we said they've got plenty of time left, but they got to get the crowd into it. Now that they've stayed out of foul trouble, maybe take some chances, high risk, high reward defense. Beautiful move by Jaquez on the interior.
Well, yeah, I always say, hey, post moves are an action, not a position. Doesn't matter if you're a guard.
Of course a guard says that. Thanks, Zora. Are you now saying everyone's a post player?
I'm just saying the capability is there.
What's next?
Nice fake by Kubek, the dump down. Betts just altering shots down low, even if she doesn't get a piece of it.
She intimidates shots. You're worried about her.
Hoffenbarger chooses to slow it up. A quick pitch to Smeichel. And the takeaway by Rice. I mean, just how quickly UCLA gets up and down the floor. Big bucket by Jones.
She is such a big leader for this team in the locker room. Her voice, Bree McDaniel off the bench really, and she was starting, changed the pace of the game. She was an outstanding defender, so much to have to make up for Maryland. in a short span with a tough schedule.
And just one note, there was a jumper that was originally counted as a 2, about 7 minutes left in the game. Referees changed that to a 3, so Maryland gets one other point, and then you add the dump down from Dulcie, too.
Yeah,
I mean, Maryland keeps fighting.
They do, and that time Dowsey didn't let Betts intimidate her, went right to the rim, gets an easy one. They've been able to pull Betts out of the paint a little bit, so she's been recovering, trying to get back to contest.
Jaquez had some time.
You bring the bodies to Betts, she passes it to an open shooter. It's good basketball.
Yeah, multiple assists by Lauren Betts. I know we talked about her points, blocks. She's got 4 assists.
Well, when you look at UCLA's starting lineup, all 5 of their starters average at least 2 assists or more per game, including Betts, who is actually averaging 2.4 herself from the center position.
And as a team, they average 22. All right, Lauren Betts, spin move. New career high for Miss Betts at 32 points.
Every coach across the country, I'm sure, has been watching UCLA, the #1 team, and you are thinking, what would we do with Lauren Betts? It's a challenge.
Well, there's a lot of ways you could go about it, but as you were talking to Brenda Free, she pointed out, you could do all this game planning for Lauren Betts, but you also have to guard Kiki Rice and London Jones and Angela Dugalich. I mean, they have so many people that can hurt you. Poffenbarger in the post, faces up. Kiki Rice, Euro step. Capitalizes on the 3-point play. Something about being home, too. I mean, Kiki Rice said she played a number of AAU games in this gym. She's familiar with these rims. Went to so many University of Maryland basketball games growing up. Even had the opportunity to work out with Christy Tolliver, who's one of the great terrapins.
Nowhere to go with Betts home down low there.
And Caroline, shot clock winding down, but we want to get you in on the action, talking more Kiki Rice. No, great stuff, Caroline. I mean, you know, she plays at UCLA. This is the one opportunity she's going to get.
And probably didn't know that at the time when she committed, because conference realignment shifted the schedule.
Okay, Rice now creating for others. Dudley on the board. Her former high school teammate that she now plays college basketball with.
Sidwell Friends is in the building. For 6'7", Lauren Betts, who is a spectacle. I mean, she is just so fun to watch. You can't keep your eyes off of her. The way she plays the game, she is really changing it. Every time UCLA touches the floor, you see her add a dimension of growth to what she's doing and to her skill set.
It looks like Betts' night may be done. Doesn't just get her 1,000th point, also a new career high this afternoon. I mean, she dominated in all ways.
Well, and it was interesting talking to Lauren Betts about how she's really good women's basketball players that started out playing soccer. I know Diana Taurasi did. I know Candace Parker did. That footwork aspect of it really helps. The timing, the hand-eye coordination is really good.
Well, more recently, you know who also played soccer? Caitlin Clark.
That's right.
And she talks about a lot of the base, setting her feet for those long threes.
Arike Gumbawale.
Okay, we're going down the line here.
Really good soccer player.
1 for 1. You pick one, I'll pick another. Women's basketball is the best. 2:28 to go. Now you're at a point in the game with where it's at that a lot of different players are getting minutes right now on both teams. And with, you know, I go back to our conversation with Corey Close, China. What was just so fascinating to me is just the temperament that she's not satisfied. 19-0, dominating teams, and she had a list of things that she wanted her team to get better at.
Well, she talked about having to create chaos for this team, to challenge them, to challenge their togetherness, their stick-to-itness, their chemistry, their toughness. And I thought it was interesting when she said one of the areas we have to get better at is rebounding. And I'm like, you're atop of every rebounding statistic in the conference.
You quickly followed up with that, yeah.
But she said our rebounding habits are good. We want to get 70% of our defensive rebounds, 40% of our offensive rebounds, and she won't stop till she gets there.
Well, and she said our talent is the floor. Our habits and character are the ceiling, constantly pushing this team to be better. And on the other side of it, Maryland, we've talked so much about the injuries, about the tough schedule. Brenda Freese preaching poise in the noise. Stay with it. And we've seen the Terps fight all afternoon long. The depth of this group, I mean, when they were whole without injuries, that was the upside. So many of the players said we have so many different weapons, and now it really has to come into play with the injuries. And Maryland is a unit that came together very quickly. We talked about all the newcomers, and they really credit their foreign tour this summer with getting to know one another.
Yeah, going to Croatia, spending that time.
It's got less than a minute to go here in this top 10 matchup. Nice catch there by McKinney. Mir McLean just battling. Everybody's still going at it. McLean, long strides, has an opportunity. Put across her neck. And even with that miss, McLean, 9 points on the afternoon, 3 for 6 from the field. Matches a season high with that free throw. We saw how close the Big Ten standings are. You got UCLA and USC at the top. It'll really come down to all the games mattering.
You got to bring your A game.
Every night.
That's for sure.
Shot clock is off. And UCLA will continue its run right now that has been so fun to watch. Mir McLean adding a couple more to her total. And make that 20-0 for the Bruins. The best start in program history continues, led by a career day from Lauren Betts. 1,000 career points.
Well, I thought we defended so much better in the second half, and when we're able to defend, we didn't get the ball inside to Lauren. They made some nice adjustments, made that a little bit more difficult, but good stops allowed us to get out in transition where we didn't have to grind it out in the half court. So it was all about defense and rebounding. I still think we can step up in our rebounding, but our defense was much improved in the second half.